Good morning, dear students. Okay, so in the last lecture, we have started two quadrant chopper. Okay, is there any problem in the sound or display the screen? Yes, am I audible? Anyone unmute and tell me, am I audible? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ठीक. So, in the last lecture, already we have started two quadrant type chopper. So it is also called as a class C chopper. So in this particular chopper, you can see two switches, that is chopper 1 and chopper 2. These are the power devices. Itself is called as a chopper, and two diode D1 and D2 is shown here. Inductive load, that is a DC motor, is connected as a load. You can see the operation, it lies in first and second quadrant. It means that the output voltage is always positive, but current may be either positive or maybe negative. Okay, so as we know that there are two types, class A and class B type of choppers. So that type of choppers are also used. Type A is used for forward motoring and type B for reverse, or you can say forward braking, right? So forward braking is achieved when current is negative, and to make the current negative, we have to shift the chopper operation from class A to class B. So it is quite possible in few applications, but for precise applications, in some applications that is not possible. That is given here, that is machine tool. When the precision is most important, that time is not possible to use class A and class B separately to drive the motor and for forward braking. So for more accuracy, for more precision, separate class A and separate class B is not used. So in place of this class A, class B separately, we can use a class C, which is a combination of class A and class B. So in the same circuit, we can easily transfer from class A to class B so that the forward braking is also possible. Okay. So for that purpose, this two quadrant chopper is used. In this two quadrant chopper, you can see here we are using two chopper or two switches. Again, the switches are definitely SCR. So if SCR are used in a circuit, then triggering circuit, then protection circuit, and even commutation circuit is also required. But all three circuits are not shown in the figure for simplicity. Okay, but you should keep in mind, whenever we are using SCR in a chopper, we require a triggering circuit, then we require a protection circuit, protection from temperature, protection from high voltage, protection from high current, and so on. There are various protections already we have learned in a second unit. So all type of protections are always used with the chopper or that SCR power device, and even with the protection circuit. If you are using SCR in a chopper, it required commutation circuit. Okay, so commutation circuit is also not shown in the figure, but it always required. So whatever circuit is shown in front of you, that circuit is not sufficient. But to understand the concept of chopper working, this circuit is sufficient. Okay. So everyone keep in mind, remember this thing, triggering is always there, protection is always there, even commutation circuit is also there, right? But not shown in a figure. Okay, so in this particular figure, we can see the chopper 1 and diode 1. This forms a class A, and chopper 2 and diode D2 forms a class B operation. Okay, so in this particular circuit, what happens? We'll see first if chopper 1 is on. If chopper 1 is on, so automatically triggering pulse is also same, but still this device remains turns off, because if chopper 1 is on, then current start to flow from EDC chopper 1, then from the L inductive load it start to store the energy in its magnetic field with the polarity as shown in figure, then through this motor and back to the EDC, right? So I'll just show you the output waveform. With the help of waveform, we will see the working of this class, sorry, two quadrant chopper. So in this particular time, you can see from 0 to T, T on. Okay. So this is a gate pulse applied to the SCR1, IG1. Okay. Gate pulse applied to the SCR1. What happens here, from this particular point P, CH1 turns on and your current increasing positively. Okay, current increases. I'll just maximize the screen so that you are easily visible. Okay, so at this point P, you can see here the CH1 is turns on until diode D2 is on. So that part we will see later on. So at this instant at P, CH1 is on. It means the triggering pulse is applied to the chopper 1. So current increases, right? Okay, here the gate pulse to the chopper 2 is 0. Keep in mind. So at here P, the current pulse is applied to the chopper 1. So chopper 1 turns on. At this instant, up to this instant, the chopper 1 is also reverse bias due to the current flow through the diode D2. So it remains in turns off. As your current is equal to 0, then chopper 1 turns on and then current increases in positive direction. Okay, this is actually a EDC. Then at this instant, when the chopper 1 is turns off, by using proper commutation, the chopper 1 is turns off. So what happens if chopper 1 turns off? See, chopper 1 is on. Chopper 1 is on. That time the current flows from EDC chopper 1 inductive load. This is a EB, is a battery or back EMF of motor. So that time the inductor energy or inductor store the energy in magnetic field. As soon as the switch or chopper 1 is off, what happens? The stored charge across the inductor gets reverse its polarity. So this become a positive and this become a negative. Okay, left side become a negative with respect to right side. So what happens, if it is negative, then diode D1 is in forward bias condition. Diode D2 is in reverse because this negative is applied at this point. So diode D2 is in reverse bias, but diode D1 is in forward bias condition. Okay, so current start to flow from L to back EMF of a motor, then T1, then R, and back to the L. Okay, so current still positive, but current is reducing. See here, the current is still positive, but it reduces up to the point R. Okay, at point R, what happens? Whenever the inductor releases the total energy, then chopper 2 is turns on. Chopper 2 turns on. So polarity of voltage, everything changes. So I'll just, okay, chopper 2 turns on. Chopper 1 off and chopper 2 turns on. What happens due to this chopper 2 turns on? The current start to flow from this negative terminal of battery, then EB, then L, and then just diode. Right? 1 minute. Okay, I'll just show you here. Initially, when both the choppers are off, both the diode D1, D2 becomes also off, and therefore load is isolated from the supply, as shown in the figure. At point P, chopper CH1 is triggered and it start to conduct. The load current I0 is positive and the load receive the power from supply. Okay, so this part P to Q. Okay, then the load current is positive. Okay. Therefore, the output voltage E0 equal to EDC. So that is shown here, output voltage equal to EDC. When chopper CH1 or diode D2 conducts, at point Q, chopper CH1 turns off. Chopper 1 turns off and inductance L forces the load current to flow through the diode D1 till the value L dis by dt becomes equal to the back EMF of the load and the load current I0 becomes 0. So this part, that is Q to R, when inductor forces the energy, so that current is a positive, definitely it is decreasing current, but still it's a positive current because direction of current is still same, right? When chopper 1 is on, then current flows from chopper, inductor, and like this. So it stores the energy in its magnetic field. Whenever chopper 1 turns off, then the polarity of this stored charge changes and then current start to flow through the particular diode, right? Like this. Then back to the EMF, then diode D2 is no diode D1, sorry. It's a diode D1. So we'll just go here. When chopper 1 or diode D2 conduct at ion becomes 0. Therefore, diode D1 conducts from point Q to point R as shown in figure. Now at this point R, if the gate signal to the chopper 2 is available, then back EMF of the motor forces current in the opposite direction through L and chopper 2. This continues until chopper 2 is turned off and chopper 1 is turned on. Now when see what happens exactly, uh, whenever chopper 2 is turns on, that time the when chopper 2 is turns on, I'll just show you. Chopper 2 turns on, the energy stored across this particular back EMF that will flows through the chopper 2, right? Like this. So current direction is reverse. So this time the inductor stored the energy in its magnetic field like this and current flows in a reverse direction. So as in a waveform, we can check the point R to S. Point R to S, your current is negative, right? When chopper 2 is on. Then at this instant S, when chopper 2 is turns off, if chopper 2 is turns off, then again chopper 2 turns off. So I'll show you chopper 2 turns off. Now when chopper 2 is on, that time the energy stored by inductor with polarity positive this side and negative this side. But whenever chopper 2 is off, then immediately the polarity of this stored charge get reversed. So this become a positive and this become a negative, right? Because of this positive, diode D2 is in forward bias condition. Because of this positive, diode D2 is in forward bias condition. So current start to flow through diode D2, then back to the EDC, and then again back to the inductor, right? So current flows from load to source this time. Okay. So D2, the input current becomes negative. During this period, chopper 1 cannot conduct due to reverse bias, but become into conduction when the input current reduces to the zero, provided the gate signal is available to the chopper 1 and both the load and input current becomes positive. Hence it becomes clear that load voltage E0 equal to 0 if chopper 2 or diode D1 conducts and E0 equal to EDC if the chopper CH1 or diode D2 conducts. Therefore, the average load voltage is positive. However, the load current I0 have both positive and negative direction. It is positive if chopper 1 and diode D1 conducts, and negative current if chopper 2 is on or diode D2 conducts. Since the average load voltage E0 is positive and average load current I0 is reversible, power flow is reversible. It is also clear that both thyristors may not be turned on simultaneously because that would short circuit the source EDC. Okay, so I'll just repeat the working of this circuit with the help of this figure, which is somewhat bigger in the size. So I'll just repeat the working of this particular circuit when the output voltage is positive, when the current is positive, when output voltage is zero, and when current is negative. Okay, so initial condition when chopper 1 and chopper 2 both are off, then definitely diode D1, D2 is also off. So load voltage equal to 0, load current is also equal to 0. That is first condition. Now in the second condition, when chopper 1 is on, then current start to flow from EDC plus chopper 1. Then you can give name A here, you can give name B here. Okay, so current flows from EDC positive CH1 A V, then R L. This time inductor store the energy in its magnetic field with the polarity as shown in figure. Okay, so current flows in a direction EDC positive, chopper 1 A B, then R, then L, then motor load, and then back to the EDC minus. Okay, this time the output voltage is positive, and current is also positive. Both are positive in this condition. Now, whenever the switch or chopper 1 turns off, what happens? Because of that, the stored charge across inductor gets reversed its polarity. So this L becomes, left side becomes negative, right side becomes a positive. Okay, because of this negative, the B terminal at B it is negative. So diode D1 is in forward bias condition, but D2 is in reverse bias condition, right? So current start to flow from L, then EB, then diode D1, then point B, then R, and back to the inductor. You can check here, the current direction is same. But output is equal to 0. Right? Because the current direction is positive, current is flowing, but from input to output is 0. No current flow from EDC to load. It is the stored charge across inductor. So current is still positive, but output voltage becomes 0. So you can check here, whenever the switch is off, chopper 1 is off in the figure, at this instant the output voltage becomes a 0. When chopper 1 is off. Okay, right? So this is the first condition, but still the current is positive. When chopper 1 is on, voltage is positive, current is positive. When chopper 1 is off, diode D1 conducts, the current is still positive, but output voltage equal to 0. This is the first condition. Second condition. Now in third condition, when chopper 2 is on, what happens? Whatever energy stored across the motor, that is called as a back EMF. EB is called as a back EMF, right? So this current flows through IL, then to the chopper and back to the back EMF, right? So this time your current is negative. Still output voltage is equal to 0. Output is still 0, but but the current is reversible. Current is reversible. This is called actually a forward braking, right? So in a railway, such type of chopper is used. See, when CH1 is on, that time the motor, railway motor maybe rotates in a forward direction. So it is called as a forward motoring. Whenever the motor or maybe railway driver wants to brake the motor, then it just turns on the chopper 2, turns off chopper 1 and turns off chopper 2. Whenever chopper 2 is turns off, the back EMF energy flows through the chopper 2. This time the load or load current is negative. Whenever current is negative, then the motor rotates in a reverse direction. This is called basically a forward braking, right? This is called forward braking. Okay, then whenever the chopper 2 is off, when chopper 2 is off, when this EMF, back EMF is flowing through the chopper 2, right? That time the energy stored by this inductor, this is a high value of inductor, large value of inductor is used. So this inductor store the energy in its magnetic field, right? With the polarity as shown in figure. But whenever the switch chopper 2 is off, immediately the polarity of this stored charge get reversed like as shown in figure. So this becomes this B positive, right? This is A point and B point. So B becomes a positive. So diode D2 conducts, right? This current start to flow from L positive, then diode D2, then back to the EDC, right? Then EB and then L minus. Okay. So this time the voltage is, sorry, current flows definitely is a river direction, but this time the output voltage, you can see here, the output voltage is a positive. When diode D2 is on, the output voltage is positive because the supply current or supply is connected to the load, so that the output voltage is positive. Okay, so output voltage is positive because B is positive. It means that this R is positive or voltage across this load is positive. So voltage is positive, but still the current is negative. You can check here, current is negative. Okay, so that is also a braking, that is operation B type is achieved. So in this particular two quadrant chopper, chopper 1 and diode D1 execute the class A type chopper, and chopper 2 and diode D2 performs the class B type chopper. Okay, so class A and class B both are performed in this chopper. So this type of chopper is normally used for better accuracy. Okay, so this is a class, two quadrant chopper. Now next one is four quadrant chopper. Next one is a four quadrant chopper, also called as a class E chopper. Okay, this is a combination of two type C chopper, two type C chopper, chopper 1 and chopper 2, diode D1 and diode D2 forms a first class C chopper, and then chopper 3 and chopper 4 and diode D3 and D4 forms another class C type chopper. Basic power circuit type E chopper. It is observed that the four quadrant chopper system can be considered as a parallel combination of two type C chopper. In this chopper configuration with a motor load, the sense of rotation can be reversed without reversing the polarity of excitation. So in class A and class B, so in class A, the supply voltage is positive, in class B, supply voltage is a negative. So without rotating your supply voltage, you can achieve the reverse operation. So reverse without reversing the polarity of excitation. In above figure, CH1 and CH4, D2 and D3 constitute one type C. Sorry, chopper 1 and chopper 4, and diode D1 and D4 constitute type C, one type C chopper, and second one CH2 and CH3, D1 and D4 forms another type C chopper. So this is a figure that is two type C choppers. Then class E with RL load, if chopper CH1 is turned on continuously, the anti-parallel connected pair of devices chopper 1 CH4 and D4 constitute short circuit. Chopper CH3 may not be turned on at the same time as CH4 becomes because CH4 because that would short circuit source EDC. So these two, that is CH1 and CH2, never conduct at a time. Similarly, CH3 and CH4 never conduct at a time. Okay, so that will short circuit the ADC that is given here. Then the operation is very simple. When chopper 1 and chopper 4s are turns on, the current flows through the path EDC plus CH1 load. See, CH1 and CH4 turns on. We will go for the circuit. CH1 is on and CH4 is on. As like your inverter circuit, already we have learned in unit number 4. So if CH1 is on, then current start to flow from EDC plus CH1, then R, then L, then CH4, and then back to the EDC. Okay. So this time inductor stored the energy in its magnetic field with the polarity like this, as shown in figure. Okay. Then the current flow through the path EDC plus CH1 load CH4 EDC minus. Since both the E0 and I0 is positive, we get the first operation or first quadrant operation. This time the voltage is positive and current is also positive. So we'll get a first quadrant operation. We'll get a first quadrant operation as shown in figure. This is the first quadrant operation, right? First quadrant operation, this one. Okay. Now, in the next cycle, when both the chopper CH1 and CH4 are turns off, if CH1 and CH4 both turns off, okay, what happens? The polarity of a stored charge get reversed. So this L become negative and this side become a positive, right? So because of this negative, diode D2 is in forward bias condition as well as diode D3 also is in forward bias condition. See, this positive is applied to the D3 and negative to the D2. So we'll see here. So current energy through path load D3 EDC plus EDC minus and D2, right? So current start to flow from L positive, then D3, then EDC plus, then EDC minus, then D2, and then back to the R. Okay, so this time the current direction is still positive. Current direction is still positive, but output voltage is negative. Output voltage is negative. Current is still positive, but voltage is negative. Then next cycle, when chopper 2 and 3 are turns on. So I'll just explain with the help of diagram here. Now, in third case, when chopper 3 is on and chopper 2 is also on, right? So this time the current start to flow from plus EDC, chopper 3, then L, then chopper 2 and back to the supply. This time also the current is reverse, right? Even voltage is also reverse. Current is reverse, voltage is reverse, right? When diodes are on, that time we will get a negative operation. But now this time the current is negative as well as voltage also negative. So we'll get a third quadrant operation, right? When chopper 3 and chopper 2 is on, that time the voltage is negative as well as current is also negative. So you will get a third quadrant operation, right? When chopper 1 and chopper 4 is on, that time chopper 1, chopper 4 on, voltage is positive, current is positive. So you will get a first quadrant operation. When chopper 1, chopper 4 is off, diode D2 and D3 is on, that time the voltage is still positive, but current is negative. So you will get a second quadrant operation. When chopper 3 and chopper 2 is on, 3 and 2 is on, that time the voltage is negative as well as current is also negative. So we will get a third quadrant operation. And last, when these two switches or choppers turns off, whatever energy stored, initially it was like this when CH3 and CH2 on, but as soon as the CH3 and CH2 turns off, immediately the polarity of the stored charge get reversed as shown in figure, right? So it becomes positive left side, right side negative. This will become D1 positive or forward bias as well as D2 forward bias, right? So current start to flow from L, diode D1 back to the CH, then negative minus, then D4 and back to the L. This time the voltage is negative, sorry, voltage is negative, but the current is positive, right? So current that will get a fourth quadrant operation. Okay, so you'll get a fourth quadrant operation with this one. So I'll just show here with the CH4, no, here. When chopper CH2 and CH3 are turns on, current flows through the path ADC plus CH3 load and CH2 ADC minus. Since both E0 and I0 are negative, we get the third quadrant operation. When both choppers CH2 and CH3 are turns off, load dissipate its energy through the path D1, EDC plus, EDC minus, D2 back to the load. In this case, E0 is positive and I0 is negative, and second quadrant operation is possible. Okay, sorry, that is the fourth quadrant, last quadrant operation is possible. This four quadrant chopper circuit consists of two bridges, forward bridge and reverse bridge. So chopper bridge CH1 CH4 is a forward bridge which permit energy flow from source to load. Diode bridge G1 D4 is a reverse bridge which permit the energy flow from load to source. This four quadrant chopper configuration can be used for reversible regenerative DC drive. That is the application of this four quadrant chopper. Okay. One more last part is remaining, that is AC stabilizer, or you can say AC chopper, AC to AC converter. So already we have learned this circuit, that is applications of triac. So triac is used, triac triggering using diac. Already we have seen. So in which the triac is used so that the positive and negative both part of cycles can be controlled. In this circuit diagram, in place of triac, only SCRs are used because SCRs are more reliable than triac for controlling, so that anti-parallel SCRs are connected here in a circuit. So that will work as like a triac. This part we will see tomorrow, but I'll just explain this in short repeatedly so that you can understand easily. Okay, so this part is, again I'll explain you in a short. So CH1 in first case, when CH1 is on and CH4 is on. Okay, so current flows from EDC, CH1, L is positive left side, right side negative, then CH4 back to the EDC minus. This time the voltage is positive and current is also positive, right? So you will get a first quadrant operation, right? Then when CH1 and CH4 turns off, then what happens? When these are on, that time inductor store the energy with this polarity, but as soon as the CH1 and CH4 turns off, the polarity across the stored charge get reversed as shown in figure. So because of that, diode D2 becomes forward bias and diode D3 also becomes forward bias. Okay, so current start to flow from L to D3, supply back to the D2 and then again D3. You can see when CH1 and CH4 is on, that time the current direction is like this. And this time also current direction is same. So current is still positive, but voltage get reversed. Voltage get reversed. So sorry, current get reversed. Voltage is still positive, but current get reversed. You will get a negative operation, right? Then in a third case, in a third mode of operation, when chopper 3 and chopper 2 is on, this time the current and voltage both are negative. Both are negative. So inductor store the energy with the polarity like this. But this time the voltage is negative as well as current is also negative. So we will get a third quarter operation. And whenever the CH3 and CH2 turns off, that time the energy stored across this particular inductor get reversed. So this becomes positive this side and negative this side. So because of that, the voltage is positive, right? And current start to flow through D1, then EDC, then back to the D4 and then EB. So current direction is reverse, but voltage is positive. So you will get a last operation, that is I0. Okay. So this is a 4-quadrant chopper. Last 1 minute is remaining. So you all give your attendance in the chat box immediately. And tomorrow we will see the last part, that is AC stabilizer or AC chopper, so that our 5th unit will be over. Thank you, dear students. Everyone give your attendance in the chat box and then you can leave the meeting.